Surprise, motherfucker!
Hello my dear beautiful bastards and welcome back to Fallout 4 and some more modding. Today's collection is very futuristic. Mods related to teleports aren't very common in the game, but the ones that do exist are rather interesting. The first one is the personal teleportation device. This mod adds a chip into the game that can be crafted at any chemistry station, and it requires nuclear material, glass, fiber optics, circuitry, ceramic and aluminum. Once crafted, we can enter the aid menu to open it up. In the setup menu we can adjust all teleporting options and check if we want to use fuel for the trips. The chip uses 10% of a fusion core per each trip, so if you want to keep it somewhat realistic, you will want the fuel option enabled. There is a standard home location that you can set wherever you're currently standing, and the same thing applies for all other locations. You simply need to stand there, go into setup and mark the location. You can mark up to 20 completely random locations throughout the entire Commonwealth, and that includes indoors, outdoors, DLC and basically anything anywhere. This mod also allows you to summon a power armor frame that will include a fusion core, but it won't have any power armor parts. This is actually very useful because I was in many situations where I told myself that I really wanted a power armor frame, because even if it doesn't have any parts, it still has the benefits of ignoring damage when falling and increased storage capacity. A free fusion core might be a little bit too much though, it would be better if the spawn was without it. Another thing that this mod allows is teleportation to any settlement, regardless of your visitation history. This is particularly useful when building settlements on new saves, and I'm kinda annoyed that I haven't used it until now. It is also a glorious blessing in survival mode, although a bit overpowered if you want a real challenge. Maybe in the case of survival mode, the requirements for traveling should be higher. Like much higher, maybe 50% of a fusion core per trip. That way we would need to be very careful with how and when we want to use this glorious gift from the gods. The actual teleport is also cool as balls. It does the entire warp thing and it blurs the screen, giving you a very immersive feeling of time bendage and space warpage. Because as we all know, you cannot bend time without warping space. Also, every time you teleport, the loading screen duration is going to be proportional to the distance between the locations you're teleporting to and from. All in all, very cool mod. The next teleporting mod we'll be looking at is the Blink Grenade. Recently released and very cool, this mod might become super popular. Before being able to use the grenades, we'll get a quest to fetch them near the Kingsport Lighthouse. We'll need to swim behind a rock and dive to get 5 grenades and a blueprint. Once with the blueprint, we can craft them at any chemistry station, with the cost being 3 adhesive, 3 oil, 2 fertilizer, a spring and nuclear material. Relatively low cost for such a magnificent tool. Using it is very simple, you throw it and wherever it falls you get warped to that location. The grenade can be thrown quite far, and unless you have the second level of the Demolitions Expert perk, you won't have an arch, and you won't be able to see where exactly are you throwing it, especially if you're aiming at a distant location. To make this a bit easier, you can use the Demolitions Expert Fix mod that allows you to have a grenade arch after just the first upgrade, rather than the second. With the arch you get much more control over where you teleport, even though it is still rather limited since aiming with arches is usually a bit fucky. You also need to be very careful when throwing these, because you might go back in time and become Jesus for a moment.
The power of Christ compels you!
Either way, this mod is very well done. It is smooth and the teleporting effect is very nice. It isn't as flashy as the teleporting device, but that's a good thing, because the Blink Grenade doesn't have loading times, and seeing the flash appear constantly isn't something that most people would want. Seeing it once a week in that horrible red suit is enough for everyone. I'm gonna give a bonus mention to the teleporting gun. This is a relatively old and unoptimized mod that adds a gun whose purpose is similar to the Blink Grenades. In order to obtain it, you need to spawn it through the console since the modder didn't add it into the world. It shoots alien blaster rounds, and every time you use it, the teleport will include a loading screen, which, given the short jump and the existence of Blink Grenades that are much faster and smoother, makes this mod kinda useless, but it is still useful for quick and precise escapes from sticky situations. I suppose Blink Grenades are quite precise with the grenade arch, so perhaps this mod is absolutely useless and I'm wasting your time, but this is all just an introduction for the ultimate teleporting tool. The Portal Gun. Once this mod is installed, we must go to Choice Chops in Diamond City. The gun is located on the roof of Choice Chops in the Myth Locker. It has a beautiful design worthy of the gods and its immense power. Basically, you shoot one portal, then press the bash button, which changes the color of the portal, and then you shoot the other. By walking into one, you come out of the other. This also applies to anything and everything else in the game. Do you know what that means? It means that by shooting a portal into an NPC, it teleports them to the other portal as well. What is even better is the fact that the teleporter works regardless of where you are. You can put the blue portal in Sanctuary and then use the orange portal to shoot at everything you see throughout all of the game, and it would be teleported to Sanctuary. This is a very easy way to loot items from locations without worrying about carry capacity. You can simply shoot at things to teleport them to safety and then ultimately teleport yourself there too. It is an immensely powerful and chaotic tool that should be used with a lot of caution. Lots of bad shit can happen very quickly and the body might fail to withstand the pressure of teleportation. An additional mod that goes well with the portal gun is the Portal Pip-Boy, a rather simple reskin of the original texture to make it look like it was made by Aperture Science. I think it goes really well with the portal gun and I definitely recommend using these two together. That completes my teleportation collection of mods in Fallout 4. I hope you will check these out and maybe use them, they're definitely useful and fun. Please do let me know if you have any ideas for future collections, and don't worry, the settlement building collections will be made soon. Thanks for watching and don't forget to watch your step, you never know when a motherfucker might surprise you. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.